Hello, Daycarn here. Welcome back to Torment. Right, left off with a lot of exposition. Here comes more. Sunlight falls through the ragged hole in the roof onto the shattered Renaissance chamber. It's hard to believe that you did this, that you plummeted through the curve of the pale blue sky, crashed through the dome, and broke this delicate machine with your own body. It's hard to believe that you are still alive. Four mechanical arms hang over the center of the device. Above the cracked, semi-transparent crystal of the sarcophagus, the fifth arm lies broken on the floor amongst scattered synth and crystal shards. A metal ring surrounds the array, dented and broken by your impact crater. Take a closer look. The padded interior beneath the coffin's cracked lid looks like it was made for a human body. Despite the damage, you don't see any way to open it and get inside. You glance between the sarcophagus and the needle, like protrusions at the end of the arm. Protrusions. Above, it seems like that using this chamber would not have been a pleasant experience. Do a double check. It may be your imagination, but some of the cracks in the crystals seem shallower than they were before. Arms. Cables run from the machines along the dome walls to the base of the suspended arms, each which is capped with a long needle aimed at the cracked coffin, like the chamber at the center of the platform. Gem-like lights flicker dimly at the base of the arms. Take one more look. The needle-like extensions at the end of the arm glitter in the dome's faint light. A number of the lights at the base of the arms have gone out. Inspect the metal ring. You feel the slightest hint of resistance every time you cross the ring, and now that you're paying attention, you note that your breath is echoing in your ears, as though you were inside a glass dome. When you step out of the ring, the feeling passes. Law, machinery. You kneel to inspect a broken section, and take note of the field projectors inside. They are omnidirectional. The ring exists to protect anyone standing inside it, but also who contains tremendous amount of power. Examine the shards. Jagged fragments of crystals are intermingled with the synth from the shattered dome above. The crystal shards glitter in the light like captivated suns. Pick up the shard. Dismiss. At the rim of the crater, you find a sliver of crystal, shaped as a dagger on one end and smooth on the other. It might make a usable, if somewhat crude, weapon. I think that's about it. Let's keep inspecting.
On it.
A mechanical arm lies on the floor, presumably broken during your fall. Sparks pour from the arm's shattered housing, filling the air with a greasy stench. Examine the housing. The sharply pointed apparatus that formerly topped the device appears to have burnt out and useless, but the equipment inside the base remains at least somewhat operational, as the constant stream of sizzling motes can attest. Let's see what we can pick up. Select the companion's portraits. Oh, that's handy to know. Success. Taking care to avoid the sparks, you extract several handfuls of shiny trinkets and coin-like objects. You recognize their value at once. Such objects would be accepted as shins, the informal currency in most regions of the world. So you gather them up and take them with you. Gain spray flesh and 16 shins. That's handy. Anything else to look at?
Ooh. Yes, now.
Gotta get the loot! Shin. So Rush and Fleetmore's. And wink.
All right.
A black slate, unimpressive device hungers before you. As you reach out to touch it, the triangle of the lights on its casing laces into life, and an image unfolds in your mind. A towering crystal arch rises over a jagged grey landscape. The air is dense, stifling, and there at least its emerald peak. The image collapses, leaving you staring into the device's triangular rays of light. Command me, the device, or the intelligence within, says, each word carefully etched with distaste. Show me the arch again, since it said command. The device's triangles of light throb in time with the growl of engines within its casings, and the mental image unfolds once more. You see a huge crystalline arch on a jagged field. The arch is divided into rectangular cells, all of which are numbered, and they appear to be transparent and empty, except at the arch's pinnacle, one cell is lit in a brilliant pulsating emerald. The number 0 is printed on it. Try to remember more about the strange place. Oh, good thing I got that. Success. The memory blossoms. You stand before this arch, eyeing the last 2 active cells in once impenetrable Lugum Val. Oh, I'm butchering this. Unleash cell 29, you say, and the twisted artifact appears before you. You claim it with a faint smile, watching the light fade from the cell far above. You flinch from the memory, and it falls apart as you raise your eyes to the arch. As it is now. Cell 29 is dark now. Only cell 0 remains. Examine. Dry grit rolls around. Close the image of the arch. Command me. Unleash cell 0. You found ciphers. Ciphers. That's handy. Oh. Interesting. That a castoff can command the changing god's machines. He crosses his arms across his chest. How'd you do that? Kirsten rolls her eyes at him. And then she looks at you. He'll never stop gnawing on this bone, you know. The truth is wasted on him. She gets a glint in her eye. Though I admit, I am curious. How did you do that? I remember something. I don't think it was my memory. I know it, Graham says, bearing a savagely triumphant grin at Kellisig. Meaningless, Alia. She clearly has the basic skills and knowledge from the changing god having been in her body. Who's to say there aren't even more specific memories locked away in their scan thoughts? How many memories might this child have access to? I must know. Oh, joy. I'm a guinea pig, by the look.
Of course.
What's this? Okay, anything else in here? Doesn't look like it.
I'm
There
going.
we go!
I need to talk to you.
What do you want to say?
This is the Reef of Fallen Worlds, kid. It's a dangerous place at the best of times. And with you lighting up the sky as you fell, well, we should get out of here as soon as possible.
Fair enough. Why are you looking at me when you said that? I wasn't, he growled. Don't be so paranoid. But when she doesn't look, he raises his eyebrow at you knowingly. What makes this place so dangerous? The numerals of the past are always dangerous, but there are other dangers too, some closer than others. I hate to think what Cows might do to her if we weren't here. If I weren't here. What are they? You want me to tell you? He laughs without mirth. The Numerans are all around you. Everything left over from the prior world. Sagas thrives by trading artifacts from ancient civilization. Hell, she can't scoop a handful of earth without finding drit from prior worlds mixed in with it. Okay. Numenera is anything from the prior worlds, but mostly we mean the stuff of value to us. A lot of the Numeneras are just oddities, fancy trinkets and little willies, but sometimes you'll get a cipher that lets you do something incredible. Artifacts are worth even more. A cipher will only do something once, but artifacts last a lot longer, though they can burn out at the most inconvenient times, he frowns. Not that it's ever happened to me. Of course, we've got no idea what most of this junk was originally intended for. In most cases, it doesn't really matter. Like, you might find what used to be a collusion unit for a star chariot, but who the hell knows enough to build you the rest of it? Better to use it as a weapon or a power source, he scowls, frustrated about something. I bet we could remake the world if we knew 10th of the secrets of the ages, but most days it's a challenge just to survive. Okay. What's your story? Ask me again when we get out of here. I don't trust this damn reef. Fair enough. What do you think of Callisti? A parasite disguised as a skullroach. Don't be surprised if she betrays you before the day is done. Actually, that would be slow for her. Fun! Can you tell me about your tattoos? They look almost alive. These are nothing. Call them a consultation if you must. He smiles grimly. Some call them by worse names, but that's because they have had occasions to run afoul of these little snakes. He looks away. This line of questioning is clearly at an end. My gift, my curse. They remind me every day. Okay, what should we do next? You want to fix the crystal chat room back there? First, get out of the reef. Okay, let's keep going, alright.
You got it.
Ooh, loot! Loot. What's this? Okay, take all. You've picked up items and equipment. To make full use of them, you will need to view your equipment. Good. Party. Let you equip. That's pretty straightforward. Okay. Your backpack contains items. Special items best. Okay. The final section shows you the ciphers that are carried in your cipher limit. Ciphers shown in the inner rings are highlighted in blue and are safe to carry. Those on the outer end highlighted are over your cipher limit and inflict negative effects as long as you're carrying them. You can use, sell, discard, transfer. Okay. What's this? Okay. Here's a maze. And a buzzer. Okay. What are these?
Ready.
Two floating cones whirl and spin derivatively around each other, giggling like children begins tickled. The air around them smells sweet burning leaves. Quick tune. Quick fingers! Engineer. Success. You managed to graze one with the tip of your fingers. Rawns. A voice says, and your vision is stolen from you. A moon hangs over you, but it's not the one you recognize. It's black and in a pearl sky. Thick, flat asteroids orbit it like petals in the wind. You feel a questing tendril at your ankle, and the hot wind on your face smells of scorched hair and grief. Your vision returns. The cones are motionless for a second before resuming the giggling dance. The cones continue to whirl, laughing and watch them for patterns. Yes, there are more movements. They are turning faster with this boat. What are you for? They're from worlds before this one. Rubs his hand stubble. Along his supple jaw, sometimes the Numerans will do something useless, sometimes they will turn you and sire, and sometimes they don't do a damn thing that makes sense. Okay.
In this world, then.
Interact? What's this over here? A bubbling mass of sludge floats on the surface of the water. Every once in a while, an oily nod separates and Okay, quick fingers. I'm probably gonna run out soon. Fresh vapors. Okay. I'm not sure whether that awful mark is harmless or you're immensely lucky. Either way, do go on poking things, dear. It's quite entertaining. You spot no other mysterious objects. 10 minutes pass and patiently wait beside the sludge. Nothing. Okay, nothing left.
All right.
Ooh, more loot. Nudge. All handy.
Here we go then.
Anything else?
Of course.
Ooh. Can interact with this. Tango claw, cluster menstrual triangle, strangely resemble clawed alien hands. Examine cluster? The hands sway softly, but their movements are difficult to follow. Watching them for too long makes you feel nauseous. Apart from the hands themselves, they don't necessarily break up the hand. Yeah, use his points! You grip the hand nearest to you and snap it at the roots. Stepping back, you give it a couple of experimental swings. Good balance, it might make a decent weapon. Alright, freebie!
In an instant.
Okay, let's head on up. What's this? Okay.
All right.
Oh, this can't be good. More people! Hi? Kuro. As you step onto what looks like a back of an enormous construct, 4 strangers approach you. In the lead is a wiry man with a parallel scars running from cheek to collarbone on the left side of his face. He gives you a welcoming smile, pulling on grey gloves embedded with pulsing lights. He's about to say something to you when he notices Calistic. Scanford, she's the star, or she came out of it. But what does Cal have to do with this? Okay? Cal, I thought you sworn off a travelling Reef. Found anything tasty? His eyes travel up and down both you and Elgrin. Odds and ends, Coro. Nothing that would interest you, I'm sure. Her words are calm, but she's gone quite still. Scanford, what is he doing here? He has something up his sleeve. I know it. I'll let them talk. His hands curl until fists at his side. I was wondering specifically if you had seen a falling star that's landed near here not long ago. I've seen nothing of the sort, Coro. Her lips close thinly. What about your friend? He turns to you. I know most of the draft that scavenges the reef. These days, it's a rare pleasure to see a new face. No scars. Where did the star land? Well, if I knew that, I wouldn't be reduced to harassing noble travellers. I never saw it, you see, my employer did, and though who is the most trustworthy team I can send at the moment's notice? He winked. Luckily, they were on another assignment. We're here to investigate and weren't too drunk yet, so... I don't know if I trust him. Cora studies you for a long moment before sighing. Alright, he says. Well, do let us know if you spot anything of interest. I like to say we paid for the privilege, but if we were rich, we wouldn't be down here, would we? Scanfords. If she's not telling the truth, then she's a fantastic liar. Guess I was wrong. I don't trust you! Nice thinking, kid. That would have been a fiasco. You figured out why they were here, right? Scanfords. I knew it. I knew I couldn't trust Calistic. This is the last time I make that mistake. They saw me fall from the sky and came to investigate. you think Callistic told them. Excuse me, are you suggesting I had something to do with Cora's plans? Oh, I cannot abide his rabid paranoia a moment longer. Are you suggesting you didn't? An old friend of yours just happens to be waiting for us, armed and outnumbering us as we return from the greatest find the Reef has seen in years? It's too convenient for me. Too convenient by far. Of all the idiotic, paranoid disillusions, you really believe this, don't you? You really believe I use a half-intellect Quoro to stab you in the back rather than do it myself? You see, kid, she'll stab you in the back, first chance she gets, most likely in your sleep. He throws his hands up for stalling Arca's restore. Look, I don't care. Fact is, I cannot trust you anymore. And I wonder why I ever did. This is the last time we traveled together. I got enough to worry about without having to watch my back 28 hours a day. He turns to you. Come on. You coming, kid, or what? I don't think she trusts us. Betrayed us. He snorts bitterly up. I do. And you haven't seen 1/10 of her depth. No one. Not 1/20th. She's backstabbing. Mark my words. You are insufferable to the end. Looking for the worst situation is only the way you know used to see it. Do you know how long I've carried your pain for now? How much I've had to turn away from your judgmental stares? But you're right, I've had enough. She turns to your child. I am happy to guide you, but I will not walk another step with this paranoid buffoon. Finally, something we agree on. Kid, she'll chop off your head and spit down your throat. I'll get you where you need to go and let you sleep at night. To boot, it's up to you. I don't know. One.
As you wish. Should you change your mind, I'll be at the order of truth. But don't bring the complainer. A farewell to you, child, and best of luck. You'll need it.
Do I feel like I picked wrong? And good riddance, he gestures towards the stairs. Come on. Whatever answers exists up there. Okay. Now that you've dealt with war, and he's going to continue to the sarcophagus to reach the city across the bridge. Okay.
Yes, now.
Shall service the construct. Unlike the others, energy still pulses across the random intervals. A slight yet incredible sense emanates there. There's loosened lens in the pressure. You think you could reject some psychic effects? Okay. I found doing the same doors and purposes unclear.
Sure.
What's this? A lamp of green fluid drips from the end of the device and hisses angrily on the metal surface beneath. Without an antagonist to aim it towards, it doesn't. Ah, so I would have had to use those on the others. Okay.
You got it.
Well, I got out of that fight. Come on. Petals. Come on. Now let's get you to the cult of the changing god. They are encamped by the clock in the great square.
Go.
Unmoved, this woman stands at the back of the crowd, arms crossed and eyes cool as she watches the slow execution. Unlike the other, she's also watching the people of the crowd. She shakes her head, depressing. What exactly is happening here? Another in a long series of pointless executions. She points to the man with the rope of flesh coming out of his mouth. The poor they killing is put into a trance that makes him talk a lot of nonsense and spew that pink stuff. Eventually it crushes the life out of him and the big guy eats him. Disgusting. Ugh. I feel like someone should do something. Why is everyone watching? Why is everyone watching this? She sighs. It's passes for entertainment in this town. People like to watch others suffer. Take their minds off their own suffering, I guess. That's not why I'm here, though. I just got sucked in. I want to stop it, I guess, but what can I do? Farewell.
Fine.
Oh,
Yes, now.
what is that?
Yes.
Well, I think I'll leave exploring this area till the next episode. This is Daycarn, signing off. Bye! A haze silhouette who seems to be made of blue glass. Open.